if you have Omega timers, the Onic part of Onyx time is being them literally doing a comeback or maybe a backdoor. Again, this is a Bruno.
And looking at a jungle start, it feels like there will be a lot of action around the XP lane in just a bit. No big invades just yet, but Nats has to be careful. His snowball is very important for RSG.
What I love about both these teams is that, initially they do like to play pretty aggressive. If you remember the first blood percentage for both these teams is relatively high. So, that's kind of how they like to play around. Let's take a quick look at the emblem builds here, Chantel. How's it looking?
Probably it's actually for both RSG and Onic, the main emblem is pretty the same. But what change could possibly be for both? So if we look at the Lights main emblem, that is the concussive blast. So aside from him being sustainable, there is added damage for the Minotaur. So it's as if he's just gonna do stomp after stomp and then just sustain other people.
And looking at Eman, he is our leader for gold per game, which should be one of the best stats to have if you're a gold laner. Hopefully it does reflect on RSG's win record so far, but right now they're still fifth in the standings, and he's up against Nets, who's I would say has been building confidence and quite a lot of it for the past few matches.
That's a pretty good metric to go by, if you're a gold laner. So we'll see if he can actually utilize, that specific stat in this game, this series, as they build up. Nothing too crazy happening, though, into this first turtle.
I think one of our newer analysts said something about having a lot of gold. I think it was Antianaro who said that it doesn't matter if you have a lot of gold, if you can't actually hit people with it, it's going to be sad.
Well, we'll see if they can actually hit people here. Turtle is going to be claimed by Urad. First one already. Now looking at the fight. Last Insanity to come through from Gem. Gets the kill on Light. So they trade the objective for the kill.
Okay, so it was right on point for Gem on that last Insanity, but at the same time for RSG, what's really nice for them is the timing of Urad on that Retribution. So in terms of the AoE damage on team fights, it would definitely be on Onyx side because of X-Borg as compared to the Rots. Again for Dairoth as much as possible, the target is someone that has high HP, so probably Ryzen, but I highly doubt that they would force a kill against Ryzen as early as possible.
And honestly, this is an unsupported Irithel. You do have Light to offer a bit of healing, but it's not as strong as an Angela Irithel, where you turn the Irithel into an actual god in the Land of Dawn. But RSG right now, they are behind by 1 kill, but in terms of Turtle's lane, they are ahead. But now 2v1 up top.
Yep, gonna flicker out. Will he be able to escape here? Gem gets taken down with the Bracer's Wrath right under the turret.
When we just said that the possible X factor here for Onic is going to be the X-Borg, it is a nice adjustment for RSG to just go in and try to get a kill against Onic, particularly Gem, and they got successful. As well, they're forcing Nats to have that lead in terms of the outer turret energy shield with the help of Irad. So this is very useful for them because they need the damage from Nats. Before, if Nats uses the usual or even Teresa, it's really more on a utility type of XP lane, but this time around it's more of a killer type XP lane.
Yeah, and we rarely see those XP lanes anymore. We rarely see XP lanes that deal damage. It's mostly a lot of tanks, a lot of frontline heavy fighters, such as the Terizla or even the X-Borg. Yes, the damage is there for X-Borg, but they're mainly getting him for the abilities to zone out. Now, RSG ahead by 400 gold, massive rotation down block.
Well, they're going to find Emon here. Not sure if he'll be able to escape. He does
okay
quite well, though, already. Still, they want to be careful how they approach this. They're going to lose quite a bit of gold here on the bottom lane turret. Nets gets that just fine. They back off. So Emon saves his life there, keeps alive. Irad, meanwhile, will claim that second turtle of the game.
Still an even ball game here for both of our teams. It's just that for RSG, the goal distribution is really for the team because it's a turtle objective for them. But for Onic, they're trying to speed up the laning here for Nets so that they could, or he could join team fights early. And again, top lane.
Okay, Gem, not going to be able to escape this one again. Just like that deja vu of Prazer's Wrath as he falls under the turret, going down. The tier 1 falls.
I gotta say that is such a calculated play coming in from RSG. They know for a fact that having a D-Roth and a Fredrin just go at it. Doesn't matter if you're an X-Borg. Honestly, it doesn't matter who you are. D-Roth and a Fredrin would finish you up, especially if you get caught in the crowd control. Of course, the dead center Prazer's Wrath always deals tons of damage. But now Onic Philippines are now trailing behind RSG. Not by a big margin. margin, though, just by 1,000. Looking at the items, looks like we're looking at a Rapid Boots D-Roth for the first time in a long while. Rapid Boots in the XP lane, baby.
But actually, this is what we have been mentioning for RSG's plays on this Dirot. One reason as to why Iran is helping Nats on the top lane is to speed things up. So later on, Emma will go at the top lane and just to farm because literally Onic is forcing. It's like a what do we call this? The mirror type of rotation, but the difference is that for RSG it's XP lane, for Onic it is the gold lane because the player or the hero that could target later on the marksman of Onic is gonna be the T-Roth. So why not force him to be as deadly as possible?
And that's another turret down for the side of Onic, and they have been pushing through their Bruno, and I feel like Onic has mastered this art, like protecting their marksman while he tries to push or split push. Nets have been one of those gold laners that benefited well from teams that leave him alone.
Yeah, I always like to call this the basically the gold lane experience, right? They go in vacation mode! Nats goes in under the turret, cleans up the kill. Able to get one, still, turtle going to be worked on. It will be a reset, though.
Goes vacation mode. I feel like that's how you would put Super Princess Life underneath that turret. Forced vacation. Go back to base. And Onic still struggling to find footing in this fight. All three turtles of the game going to the hands of RSG. What can we expect as we enter mid-game?
In terms of the mid-game, for Onic, as long as there is no death for Nets, it's still a good sign for them. Oh, is that a steal? Oh, it's a steal! It's a steal from Aqua. Oh, nasty play from Aqua. Anyway, going back to the thought, again for Onic, as long as there is a nice play for or opening for Nets, since he has the Berserkers here already, all they need to do is to have someone in front, probably Ryzen and Gem, and have Nets do all free hitting. But again, it is against the Nats Dyrot.
Light can go in. Nice into a Fury. Gets knocked up, and Razor's Wrath will go down on multiple members. Emon gets the kill. It's only Ryzen that falls there. Thankfully, with the sustain from Yoshinu, able to keep them alive. But that's a deadly combination. We just got a preview of what can happen later on.
Yeah, that was clean. That was really clean coming in from RSG. And Light feels like he's playing without a chip on his shoulder. Love that for him. And then they're going to go for the mid lane turret. And I feel like Onyx is going to give it up.
You know what, if you're up against RSG or if you're Onic and if you're up against this type of lineup, it's really hard to penetrate because of the crowd control again and even the slow. So what you need to do is have someone to do the split push, which by the way RSG uses against them, but it would be difficult for them. Probably the only option they could do is to wait until Super Prince can deal damage to the other players, because looking at the goal, it's just, or even the level, it's level 9 as compared to level 10, so the passive of Valentina isn't really much used here for this game. So a decent Lord Dance, again, it's part of our keys to victory for both.
Yeah, and now purple buff will be the next objective. They're gonna go for Ryzen, but no one's Fury lands on one.
Okay, Ryzen's still gonna be up though
Super
for a little
Prince!
longer. Gem gonna go in with himself, still going for it. Ryzen finally falls. M on the backside. Now Nets trying to take him down. Won't be able to get the kill though. Man, was that kind of messy under the tier 2.
Yeah, that dive coming in from Eman was extremely risky, but a risk he's willing to take it now. They're going to go for the first Lord of the game with no crucial ultimates coming in from Onic. It's going to be extremely hard for them to contest this one, Chantel.
You know what, for Onic, the problem there on that last team fight is I think there has been a miscommunication in terms of the initiation. We saw the last Insanity from Gem, but at the same time, there's no follow-up. Probably because, or not probably, it is because of Light's very nice Minoan's Fury. It's as if RSG, whenever one player or one of their teammates goes for the initiation, everyone is willing to go for a follow-up. It's something that Onic has been lacking for this game, as to why RSG has been really effective and is now at left.
Whoa! Nets getting really close there. Light can stick her in. Will go down. Nets grabs the kill. Emon falls too. Aqua trying to run away, but he's got 4 members on this side of the map. Now they have to deal with this Lord though, but Onic finding some hope there.
Quite the greedy play coming in from RSG. Popping the ultimate quite early. Yes, they did have burst damage, but a heal coming in from Yoshinu comes in clutch. Now with the Lord marching up top, could they actually use this, Chantel?
With this Lord, knowing that Light and even Eman is not part, it is easy defense for Onic. And just when we said that the RSG is ready for the team fight whenever there is initiation, it's a bit too much or a bit fancy earlier because other players are not really around that team fight area. So for Onic, all they have to do is to maximize those let's say, overextended team fights from RSG.
Yeah, and now RSG with a 4K gold lead, they might just be able to eat up almost all the jungle creeps coming in from Onic Philippines, and that's gonna hinder the growth here of Nets. But he is 2-0-1, so that's a bit of late game insurance for them.
It's kind of like their saving grace, right? I mean, and this is usually, I feel like, a case or a reoccurring trend, specifically with Onic Philippines for the most part, right?
Yeah.
They take care of Nets the best they can, and that's usually what happens. And then he's kind of the one that either pops off in the team fights, or we've seen him do it before where the whole saying of nothing but Nets happened, and he backdoors, right? He goes for the split push, and he's able to win games that way. But again, with the way things are going on here for RSG, specifically having this lead, it's going to take some work to get back into it.
And speaking of Onic taking care of Nets really well, take note that it is 9.2K as compared to 8-point-something K for Emma. So it is 1,000 lead in terms of gold for both the marksmen. As to why there was a time wherein Emma wanted to target Nets but wasn't able to because of the difference in terms of damage. Again, the critical damage per second from the Bruno compared to the movement speed of an Irithel. So one reason as to why Nets built as well, the Wind of Nature. So it's going to be a marksman versus marksman play, but there is a threat from Nat's damage.
And now the Luminous Lord will be up in 10 seconds. Crucial objective to take here for RSG. You would want that to further push into the base of Onic. Meanwhile, for Onic, if they're able to secure that, they might just turn this around, considering that Nets has been farming up the entire game.
Okay, so we could see here actually the movement from RSG. We have both Eminent Light from the top lane, and that is because they are full aware that whenever Onic doesn't want to go for the contest, they will go for the split push. So when they saw other players of Onic, they went straight to this Lord.
Yeah, and this Lord will be the second Lord of the game, going to the hands of RSG, an uncontested objective once again. If you look at the objective score, Onic only secured one turret compared to RSG securing everything else.
And the one problem also for Onic is the clearing of minion waves. So they have X-Borg, yes, but one of the starters or the initiators for Onic is Gem. So if they are to use the last Insanity to clear the minion wave, might as well hit those flames against the players of RSG once they want to go for that push. Again, we could see Nats with that blade armor. So he is now built to just find Nets in the middle of Onyx Fortress.
Definitely something you have to watch out for. Second turret, mid lane is going to fall. They've got to work with the Lord as well. Another big item here being picked up for Onic. Will it be enough to hold on here? Lord going to go ahead and get the charge up. Turret falls. Base now exposed on top side. Gem taking some damage. Good thing he is fine with the immortality. Quite tanky. Has the armor as well. So best case scenario here, Onic Philippines holds on to anything that they can. But right now it looks like RSG, with the lead they have, they're going to keep pushing the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, a wave as well down bottom lane, but the healing does come in. Gem might take the brunt of the damage here, but Emmett goes in with a heavy crossbow. Wasn't able to deal a lot of damage on the turret, but was able to poke down Onic. Still, one inhibitor turret down for the side of Onic Philippines. RSG was successful in their push, but not as successful as they wanted to be.
You know what? If this game stretches around at around 80 minutes, what's the last game again for them?
38 minutes.
38.
The last time that these guys met, 34.
Okay, so if ever this game reaches around 18 minutes or 90 minutes, okay, it's gonna be difficult for RSG to finish the game because for Onic, the sustain is already there, even the initiation from Gem. And take note that Nets hasn't been really found or hasn't really been killed for every team fight that RSG wanted to start. So imagine that there's a team fight, Onic defense, and the Worldly just deals damage against the players of RSG. Okay.
Irad goes in for the engage, uses the retribution too, but looks like they're gonna go in for the pokes instead. Ryzen might be taken down here.
Yeah, Ryzen gonna try to be healed up. Won't be enough as he falls. Light jumps in, finds multiple members before he falls himself. Now Ned's going, has to pop the Wind of Nature, gonna be able to survive. It's a 1-for-1 trade. The roamer for the jungler. They lose a turret as well for Onic Philippines.
Oh wow, it's just light, bringing light to his teammates. It was a very nice Minoan Spear, and at the same time, everyone's just moving forward, forcing Onic to back away. And look at the damage from Aqua, now at 104. It's very difficult because if you compare the range of Valentina as compared to this Novaria, one reason as to why Super Prince is having a hard time to deal damage against the players of RSG. Okay, Lord.
Oh, they're going to have to fight for this Irad, able to secure it. Onic Philippines going to have to go back and prep for this defense, holding on to that one turret.
And it's almost a 10,000 gold lead. RSG definitely playing to their strengths, and they know their range. They know their ability to all in whenever they want to, but they're not going for it all the time. You know that they can, but they have the discipline to just go for the better play.
Yep, and even for RSG, aside from going for the better plays, I like that they really respect the potential as well for a counter engage against Onic. But speaking of counter engage, that's something that Onic needs to do for this defense.
See if they can hold it together here. They're going to lose this turret. They still have to deal with the Lord. Base fully exposed now.
Eman.
Super Prince holding on to the Minoan Fury himself. He might be looking to utilize it here in this possible last defense. But right now, RSG, even with the lead they have, they can't end the game just yet.
Okay.
They're going to be forced back here. Onic Philippines holds on for a little longer.
3 Lords, they've already used up 3 Lords to push this. 1 more Lord and we might even see an equalized item pool for our gold laners, which honestly RSG doesn't want. The next Lord, they should go for the finish. If not, this might just be another long game.
Yep, again, we've mentioned the 18-minute mark for Onic, probably 20-minute mark as well. So for Eman, he is fully aware of the sustain that Onic has, and since Gem is really on front, they need someone to really force this Spiraga armor to be shred prior team fight, because as long as the Gem's there, it's going to be difficult here for RSG to penetrate, even if all the inhibitors has been destroyed here against Onic. So in terms of throwing minion wave, pretty decent for Onic, since the damage of Nets is just here with the Malefic Roar as well.
Yeah.
So you know what? Things are taking long for both of our teams. It's because there's no really decent initiator for Light. As long as there is 2-3, it's good. But for Onic, it's really hard for them.
And looking at the gold lane, both of them actually already have their 6 items ready to go, which means Onic does have the damage that they need to take down RSG. It's just a matter of positioning their marksmen well, protecting nets as much as possible. And for RSG, it's the complete opposite. Try to poke him down, try to go all in. And of course, Eman could handle himself. That's why you run the sprint anyway. You should be good on your own.
Yep, and speaking of good on their own, I think for Onic, what's lacking for them is we've been mentioning initiation in team fights. But sometimes, all they do is to go for the counter initiation. What if this time around, it's going to be Gem that uses last Insanity first? I know it's last, but first Insanity, maybe.
Oh, this is going to be tough here. They got spotted out. Ryzen will get deleted as he's taken down, and they're going to collapse right on Onic Philippines. Nets trying to get away with Super Prince and Yoshinu. Gem with the Immortality will be popped, trying to buy time. Buys a little bit for the team, but will get taken down eventually. They chase him down. Aqua gets the kill. Meanwhile, on the top side, Irad buys a little more time. Here comes Emon. Goes in, Nets trying to help out the team by line. Goes in with his own knock-up with the Mjorn Fury, and they'll get taken care of. Super Prince left alive. Nav trying to get the kill. Can't get it, but Aqua cleans it up. And now all they have to do is wait for the minions to push into base here. RSG Philippines will take game number 1 against Onic Philippines in a quick, deciding team fight.